Greetings, guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bonette, and this is my channel, Evolve with Bonette. I want to jump right into it. For those of you that are new here, I'm a professional intuitive empath. For those of you that are joining me again, let's talk. So, the song that they wanted me to dissect tonight was Wicked Games. And it's a song that we're all familiar with. Chris Isaak sings it. But there is a version, and I'm going to link the version below, which is so haunting. And I listened to this song a lot in the last year as I was dealing with some stuff. Y'all, excuse that. You know how it goes, bad or good hair days. I listened to that song a lot in the last year as I was dealing with some stuff. And when I heard it, my angels told me that things were coming up for me. And so I'm such an empath. I have a soundtrack. I have a soundtrack to get through any kind of like hard thing that I'm going through, right? I feel like it makes your life like a movie. So, you know, the parts that suck, you put music over it. So I did. I wonder if you do the same. If you do, please comment below what your favorite, like, get you through betrayal. What's your betrayal soundtrack? Yeah? We might do a whole thing on soundtracks here because I'm kind of into. I have soundtracks for like falling in love, falling out of love, the whole thing, right? So I had this energy that I was transmuting, and Wicked Games seemed to be so appropriate. And so when I listened to it initially, it's all about that journey of falling in love with somebody or falling out of love or realizing the deception and the betrayal. And my angel said, let's flip it and reverse it. About 6 months ago, they were like, this is about also falling in love. And if you want to understand what your divine feminine or masculine is going through, or your distorted, in my case, feminine or masculine is going through, let's talk about this song. So, the world was on fire and no one could save me but you. It's strange what desire will make foolish people do. I used to look at my situation and think the desire made something foolish. But I had known desire and I had known restraint, so I didn't relate until I started to relate. You know what I mean? I started to relate. I got it. I thought, oh, I get it. It made me more forgiving because I instantly understood that there was a human, even though there was a human attached to a lot of bad stuff, there was a human going through an experience of being validated. Woo, step back. I know you guys don't want to hear that if you're dealing with like karmics or the situation and you're like, oh, but my person went off with this monster. Yeah, your person had a moment where they were like, someone's paying attention to me. Don't you like when people pay attention to you? I am not saying this to be argumentative, but I have to say, my angels were like, if you're going to heal from this, you have to look at it and be fair. Fair is fair. Fair is fair. So let's talk. It's strange what desire will make foolish people do. I never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you, and I never dreamed that I'd lose somebody like you. So when you really are into somebody and you get them and you think like, okay, I've got this person, this is amazing. It's like, I'm just going to hold on tight. We are outside of the four agreements. One of the agreements that I think it's Miguel Ruiz, right? Talks about. Or it's not maybe necessarily an agreement, but there's something he wrote about relationships that stuck out to me about the moment that you start to want to possess your lover, you have lost your lover, right? So I never dreamed that I'd have someone like you, the possession, and then the inevitable place that we get to where it's like, and I never dreamed that I'd lose somebody like you. But what I flipped it to is meeting a twin flame after you've maybe had a soulmate energy. So soulmates push you and they cause you to have great disruption so that you can just awaken. It's like Kali energy. Kali, you know, the goddess, it's Kali. It's like Pele erupting. It's all of this like forceful and Mars driven energy that's really hard to navigate. But the world was on fire. That Pele, Mars, fire, volcanic Aries energy. And I feel like there's something in there because when you have a soulmate, that's the energy. But the second part of it, I never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you, is what happens when you meet a twin flame. because there's a miracle in it. Because after you've been through the destruction, because Kali comes to destroy so it can rebuild, same thing with Shiva and Shakti, okay? So that you can rebuild. Shiva specifically, a destroyer. So he's destroying things energetically that are not deemed to be pure. There's something that's miraculous and pure about the twin flame. That is something that I was learning about. Okay, so no, I do not. I do not want to fall in love. This world is only going to break your heart. That speaks to our lower vibration of ego, resisting moving forward after we've engaged with trauma. Now, sometimes when we're dealing with trauma, we are not releasing that. So we will play that tape, that loop in our head. This world's only gonna break your heart, and it's brilliant the way that Chris Isaak does it in his original version. Mercury retrograde, I cannot talk, guys. It has been all day. The readings have been wild, my poor clients. So okay, and it's pretty late right now. This world's only going to break your heart. There's an echo. It's almost like this world is only going to break your heart. But it's just like this underchord. It's an echo. It's not really even a present thing. You don't even really know what you're hearing. But there it is, the steady cadence of this world's only going to break your heart. A constant reminder that that's why we should stay out of love. What a wicked game you play to make me feel this way. What a wicked thing to do to make me dream of you. What a wicked thing to say. You never felt this way. What a wicked thing to do to make me dream of you. Particularly in my situation, my soulmate told me they didn't understand the connection, which is fine. You're allowed to not understand stuff. You're allowed to live your best life. Excuse me. You're allowed to live your best life. But I felt like it was a lie, and then I thought, she's a con artist. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe she was telling the truth. I don't know. What is the truth? What is art? Is art? Who knows? I digress. That was one thing. But one of the things that really stuck out to me is about when you're making this positive, when we're curing this, what a wicked game to play to make me feel this way. See, the thing about this that I found interesting and very much in alignment with a twin flame connection that lights you up is it mirrors the soulmate connection. So you think, I better run, and in my case, it's been a theme, run from the devil, right? And you're like, okay, I need to just like leave this alone. These feathers are winning. They're winning tonight. I'm not winning, they are. But I need to leave this alone, and I need to be in a place where I'm actually going to protect my heart. One thing I heard from it's Channel Bader Tarot. She did a really lovely channeling this week about why we were not integrating fully, and she was saying the reason that things are not moving in the 3D with your divine masculine or distorted masculine, in my case, is because you haven't been doing your work in the 5D. You've been holding a masculine energy over masculine. So I overcorrected, or we have overcorrected, because I was too much in divine feminine energy, and it got me to the place of being snacked. Carol Baskins. It got me to the place where I was emotionally taken advantage of and taken for granted and treated really, really badly, really atrociously. And so in that moment, I overcorrected, and I was like, no, I am going to protect myself. I'm going to protect my heart. And then it went from me doing it through tears to me being like, F everybody. And I really felt that. It's so funny. One of the things, the wicked game, one of the things that the soulmate that I thought was my soulmate was dealing with, or would used to tell me was, I don't want to make you mean like me. And in her betrayal and treachery, it broke me. It really did. And what happened was it broke me open. It cracked this prehistoric egg, this thing that I buried, the primordial shadow that I was so scared of sharing and having people know about, that I could be mean, that I could cuss somebody out, that I had that energy in me. But I didn't give it to her. My angels were so good. I was not on the home team. You know, she was on home turf. So I was very careful about how I managed myself when I was around her, and how I spoke to her and how I dealt with things, because I felt that she would use some low blow racial tactics to kind of win in any kind of argument, which she did anyway, but at least I didn't have to be there to deal with it. And so because of that wicked game that we were playing, I overcorrected and said, I'm never going to love anybody. I don't want to feel anything. And that's what will happen. I'm still there, but I have known the other side of this. So the wicked game is you're now mirroring the soulmate relationship. I have an article that I will be reading that I wrote called The Soulmate Conundrum. I'll try to link those two things here together. So you can hear what happens in a soulmate conundrum. And it's really derived from the experience we watched Elizabeth Gilbert have in Eat, Pray, Love. Okay. So we'll talk about that in depth. But my soulmate relationship that I had to let go because it was just so toxic and painful for me definitely mirrored a twin flame situation. And I was like, what, which way do they go? And I don't know if I want to open my heart to this. And I don't know if this is right. And I don't know if I'm reading this right. And what if this person's just playing games with me? And what if this person doesn't care about me? And what if, why is that? This world is only gonna break your heart. You see what happens there? Playing that over and over and over. And you're saying, no, I don't want to fall in love. I don't want to fall in love with you. So this is the part where I was like, okay, Chris Isaak was teaching a whole masterclass about the soulmate twin flame journey, codependency, integration, enmeshment. I was like, separation anxiety. I feel like it was like a who needs sociology 101? Just listen to this song. The world was on fire and no one could save me but you. It's strange what desire will make foolish people do. And I never dreamed that I'd love somebody like you. And I finally heard it differently. Your twin flame is not there to save you. Your twin flame shows up in your life because you started to save yourself. With your soulmate, the world was on fire and nothing could save them but you. And you had an enmeshment and a codependency and a toxicity, at least in my journey, that was my experience. If you relate, I don't want a blanket statement, all of you, please comment below. If you disagree, I love a healthy debate, a healthy, respectful debate. And so nothing could save me but you. I was very much in that energy where I thought I was a savior. Come on, y'all. I got to tell my truth of being a ridiculous codependent martyr who was thinking that if the salvation didn't come from my hand and my mouth to my best friend and my soulmate who was trifling, then she shall not be saved. And I had to, oh my gosh, the Lord humbled me, universe, source, God of wonders, angels, ancestors, the Alpha and the Omega brought me right to my knees. And he said, daughter, this has nothing to do with you. You guys were in each other's life to help raise and then lower vibrations. You probably lowered her vibration in ways that you don't even know. You probably hurt her feelings in ways that you don't even know. But what I know is this wicked game that you were playing with each other was allowed to happen to get you to evolve. Come on, name channel. Come on, channel plug. It was there to get you to evolve. Both of you, all three of y'all, actually. Come on, let me talk about it. The person I was dealing with had involved me in a situation where she was trying to make me a sister wife. I said, not on my life, Jesus. Not on my life. She's lost her mind. That's when I stopped dealing with the energy of my father and was able to heal and integrate. What she did in that wicked game was crack me open again, that primordial place. And I oozed out and I got to look right in the face all of my daddy issues. Every single one, y'all. This is me, maybe 4, looking at my father, if you can see from the glare, trying to figure out what the hell was wrong with him. At 3 or 4, I knew that I was the doctor and that he was the malignant narcissist. And I was trying to fix him even then. Now, we all may have had kids like this and played with our parents like this, but what I want you to know is this is not a healthy and normal disposition for one to remain in the rest of their lives. And when you're playing wicked games with soulmates that are not aligned and meant to stay in your life, you will forever be the doctor. Didn't Elena say it? I don't want to be the bearer of the bad news that you're waiting on. Oh my God. I don't want to bear her cross. I don't want to bear anybody's cross. I want to be in a relationship that can flourish. I want to be in friendships that are healthy. I want to have dynamics of exchanges. The wicked games. They said, though, don't judge. They said, don't judge. You guys were each other's thing and you helped each other raise. And in you walking away, she'll learn lessons. And in you staying as long as you did, you learned painful lessons. And in you dealing with the things you dealt with and her dealing with the things she dealt with or felt, I don't want to dismiss her experience. I'll do that maybe in another video. See, integrated, healthy empath telling self-depreciating jokes, but meaning it. Hashtag shade, real shade. But the truth is that that wicked game is probably going to make me better than I've ever been, and did make me more spiritually astute and in tune. That was the wicked game played with the soulmate. And so it's hard because it parallels the twin flame, and you think, can I trust this? Can I trust this? I don't trust anything now. And that's why we have to exfoliate our residue. But I wanted to flip on the side of it. What I got to experience on the other side was similar as soon as I allowed myself to, because I was holding a lot of my energy back because I wanted to be integral. And honestly, I didn't want to be like her. I knew what she was doing, and I was like, I don't think she knows how much this is painful and how much it hurts. And so I'm going to not do this. I'm going to not do this. And I didn't. But the second I started to I really started to release and then move forward, and I started to think about things differently, and I thought about the prospect of a twin flame and partnership and finally getting the things that I had manifested stupidly. And my angels stopped me there. It wasn't stupid. Guys, if you're watching and you've manifested a relationship with somebody and it didn't work out, there was a gold mine of lessons. You're going to see lessons come out of me here. And that was the only way that my angels would let me do this. I took a long time to think about this, but one of the things that was stolen, just like it was in my relationship with my father, was my voice, was my ability to speak, was my ability to share or articulate that I had a need, or that I didn't like something, or that I needed to have an answer or accountability. That soulmate was not accountable to me. She triggered the out of me. Okay? I'll censor myself. She triggered me all the time. And just like my father, who I was never easy around, there were moments of levity, just like with him. He was charismatic. But there were wicked games. Back to the wicked games. Back to the wicked games. Allow yourself to feel that. If you get out of a soulmate situation and you're like, so my heart's permanently closed forever and ever, amen, I want you to allow yourself to think about what a new friendship would look like, what a new lover would look like, what a new husband or wife would look like. What does that look like for you? And are they more in alignment? Not just someone you're randomly dating, not just someone you're swiping left or right on, somebody that you actually have a connection that meets what matters to you. So for me, spirituality matters. So it matters that the person I'm connected with has their own intuition and has the ability to speak into my life and over it if I need it. It also matters to me that that person is grounded, integral, loyal. Y'all, hashtag triggered. This one was never loyal. Papa was a Rolling Stone. And when I tell you I thought I had escaped him, why did I end up being best friends with my dad? Except more complicated. It was a mess. It was a mess. We cannot escape our human and family pathology. The lessons in your family will repeat themselves. If you had someone like my mother, she was given up for adoption and she did not want to keep me. And I left home pretty early. She didn't give me up for adoption, but it was something that played itself out in its own way. We had to walk through me not being at home when I was 14 or 15, when I should have been there. And it was because she was working out her family pathology, whether she realized it or not. So I give that very candid expression and explanation because when you're playing these wicked games, you will feel like you're losing a lot. But there is a flip side to the wicked game, which is you will get to know what it feels like to have that in a genuine place once you leave the triggering soul lesson and move into I'm grounded, I'm integrated. Because of this, my father came in and he kind of rescued me, which I never in 1,000,000 years thought I'd get to say. He came in a dream. He didn't say much. He gave me a tool and he told me what to do in order to shift the dynamic that I was dealing with. He told me it was time to move on, and he told me through a reading that I was getting about career, he said, these wicked games you've been dealing with are because of me. I was wicked. This is because of me and it's over. Because you have places to be in your life and you can't get there while you're connected to this thing. If you could have told me that my father would be advising me that way ever in life when he never did it in life, I would have never ever taken that bet. But he did. And it freed me and it integrated me. But first, all of that had to happen because I was triggered by a relationship, a soulmate relationship that I will never doubt what it was. This is, if she was not a soulmate, I'm not me. I'm not alive and sitting here talking to you. So it's just a really powerful lesson about having compassion for the person in your life. I don't know where I'm getting this glare from, but it's happening. Having compassion for the person in your life that betrayed you. That's a hard thing to do. It is a tall order, but I had to have that. I was like, oh, she fell in love. I get that. There, I could find her humanity again, because I had lost her humanity and I had begun to despise her. And that's not a healthy place for an empath who's doing readers for people to stay. You can't be in a despising place, folks. You can't wear the hawk earrings and be hating on folks. You have to really pull your ish together. And I had to pull myself together. And I had to say, oh, she felt good and she felt happy. The way she went about things, the way she handled things, the way she did all the things, which you can find out in other videos, that was my problem. It wasn't about that. I never begrudge anybody happiness, love, good times, what feels right for them. We all have to take care of ourselves. But I do believe in loyalty. And I think that there's something about knowing that when you've left the unloyal side of the wicked game, that the only place that you can go is all the way up. Nothing can stop you. You're all the way up. And it's to a place of loyalty and real connection with a genuine person. That it's inevitable. So if you stumbled upon this video and you thought, what the heck is this girl talking about? Empath, divine, masculine, feminine, distorted, masculine, feminine, karmic, everybody in the club getting tipsy. There is more for us after you deal with your trauma and your pain. I will never manifest another relationship like this person here. You know why? Because I healed it in this last couple of years. I finally understand why the two previous malignant narcissists were in my life before this present covert, or well, past. Amen. It's good to have something in the past now. While this past covert narcissist was in my life, and why she was there for as long as she was, because it was insidious. Just like my connection to my father when it was unhealthy and unbalanced, just like my need to please and people please, just like my need to diagnose, it was always there. It was there from the beginning. Because when you deal with someone who's unbalanced, you're always going to be trying to recalibrate. I no longer want to be the ballast in anyone else's ship. I just want to float my own boat. And at this point, girl, I'm almost feeling like I need to build an alligator-filled moat because people are treacherous. But truly, I'm going to work on just integrating and balancing myself. I'm done trying to save people or fix people. If it's too enmeshed, next. That's how I feel. And I kind of feel relieved. I don't know what it's like to have a friendship that's not, we're sucking each other's life out. Now, and here's the thing. I want to just say this too about the wicked game. You're going to feel a way about your twin flame or your soulmate, and you're going to feel like you want to be around them, and all the natural serotonin and oxytocin outputs and secretions are happening because you're in a new friendship or a new relationship and new stuff is happening and you're excited. You want to be around them and all that stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's about how you guys manage and balance and exist day to day. If it's every day and there's codependency, I don't know. After a year of some real therapy, I kind of feel like I'm just highly on alert for that. The wicked game helps you to integrate and have patience for the person that you may have loved, so you can see things from their perspective. What falling in love feels like. Betrayal sucks. It hurts so bad. But if you can find that place where you are still similar so that you don't get to the place where you lose your humanity and you're hating them, they fell in love. Like, simplify it. Remove yourself from it. Compartmentalize. They didn't do this to you. They fell in love and then they threw you away because they felt like that's what they needed to do because they weren't integral. Everyone that falls in love doesn't do that, and you're about to learn that with the twin flame relationship. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't be attached to all the monikers. Love is love, and it comes in all these different forms, and it surprises us, and it knocks us down, and all that other stuff Carrie Hilson said. What I want you to understand is that you have to give compassion to release that. If you want your real love and you want to feel the yummy juiciness of the other side of this, which is falling for someone new, having new experiences and all the stuff that they just did it in like a really treacherous, sneaky way, then you got to release this and get into your side of the wicked game, which is to convince yourself that the world's not just going to break your heart. All right, guys, so good to share some energy with you. I love when you comment. Please leave me your comments below about your wicked game experience, your betrayal, and or your reconnection with a better option. God bless the broken road and all that Rascal Flats-ish, okay? That led me straight out of here. I don't know where you is. I don't have the you. But man, I'm on the not broken road and feeling pretty damn good about it, guys. So come join me next time and we'll continue to feel pretty damn good and evolve together.